All right, you guys, welcome to another live. You guys, please share, subscribe to the channel. The trouble of America, no peace. Now, I want you guys to listen because don't be a fool and think that Donald Trump is doing something. Just because he pardoned NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover. America still have to do one basic principle. Because I want to say all day long I have stuck out my hand to rebellious people, a hard, stiff-necked people. And that's why Isaiah said, Lord, who heard our word? Who heard this message? Because I want to say, brothers and sisters, you're not free just yet. He's sending you hard tasks, labor. You finding out about these tariff wars that's happening in black communities. He's putting it globally. You see, these tariff wars that's on the Apple phones, iPhones. So I want to say, the trouble of America, no peace. America trying to hold her place as the greatest power amongst the nation of earth is one of the most troubled countries on earth today, as you see it. The world has never before seen the top rulers of the land leaving office to visit nation abroad. See, the purpose of these visits to foreign countries is to make peace with them after years of troubling them. America brought all of her trouble upon herself. She alone is to be charged with being the cause of the troubled world and people today. America loves meddling into other people's affairs. It just cannot stay out other people's business, whether they be a 2 cent worth soapbox teacher, or president, and king of countries. American action fits the description of the prophecy, the Bible. You see, the beasts have eyes around and about. This refers to mechanical listening devices, which America listen in on other people's private affairs, as well as to listen in on foreign governmental affairs. This also refers to a powerful telescopes. See, America goes to war and make war against other people. Then she charged them with making war against her when she is the one who is guilty of the war making. The Bible says, Allah God will destroy those who delight themselves in making war. Now the fall of this nation. Now the title of this is taken from this 13th chapter we see of the Holy Quran entitled The Thunder. We have past history that teach us of this fall and rise of nations. However, in this day after destruction of the nations, there will be no rise of this destroying nation, because Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise or due forever, will destroy those who cause evil to spread far and wide. He will destroy those who love to make war on others, as it is written, we see Psalms 68, verse 30. During the whole time of the mischief makers, the devil's 6,000 years on this planet, there had been one war right after another. There have never been any peace amongst them. You cannot live with them in peace. Peace was never in the nature of the right race. The right race was made to destroy the peace from the earth, and they had just about destroyed the peace from the earth. Just look over there in Europe. Europe will be reckoned with. And it's still the Cold War between America and Russia. Don't forget about it. See, the Bible, Isaiah, as it is written, the people know not the way of peace. Why should peace lovers want a world to live in where there is no peace? If peace can be established, see, the nation wants peace today, but they cannot have peace until the power of the peace breakers has been broken. See, America is angry over the possible freedom of a black one slave to go for himself and to set up self-independence. America is angry. It does not want the black slave to seek some other nation to help him. There are other nations whose population runs into hundreds of millions of people. And these hundreds of millions of people of the nation have sympathy for the black man in America. They hope to help the black man in America to be free, to go for self, while white America is working with all of her mights in order to prevent the nation from getting any aid to the black man in America. If other nations give black man America any aid, white America wants to hinder us. And people who are that wicked against the black slave, whom they had for 400 years, Allah God should not have any compassion on destruction of them, nor should a nation have compassion on white America. Because you see, white America is wicked beyond your and my imagination. White America turns the world into evil filth. You cannot go out to the streets accompanied by your decent families without being made ashamed of the work of the white man. He has made it lawful for people to go nude if they want to. You see, it's a dangerous world for a person who loves to live in peace, who desires to keep his own property as well as his life. You see, it's a dangerous world. See, the rise of ancient Babylon with her persecution of the righteous amongst her and with her hatred of the Jews and their religion. See, Babylon was brought to nothing. You see, is America better than ancient Babylon? No. The people of Noah committed the same evil, you see, and the same unsightly filth that is going on here in America today. But the evil and filth of the present day of America is being committed on a larger scale than that committed in the days of Noah. The people of Noah was drowned and destroyed. So it was with the people of Lot, Solomon, and Gomorrah. Wickedness and filth had become the orders of the day. Those wicked people was removed it from our planet Earth. Is America any better? No. America is worse than that of ancient people. See, white America see that we, the Islamic believers, the Muslims, want to do something for self and our black kind. But white America opposes us to a degree that she destroy our cattle, our farms, and instruments, and our machinery. See, you see the tariff wars? See, they coming at all black farmers. See, white America wants to destroy our lives. See, white America is planning to destroy our lives. But you see, Allah God too is planning. And Allah God is the best of the planner, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made now. The fall and rise of nations. You see, the fall and rise of nations. See, this crooked way for America to hasten or fall is to try and to mistreat and to do evil to me and to my followers. The quickest way for America to receive her approaching hour doom is for America to always to try to find some way to block the success of Allah, God, and guiding me and those who are following me, especially when you are an aspiration to a people. America, as soon as white America learned that we are trying to purchase the wholesome quantity of low price merchandise from Japan for the benefit of all my black people in America, America goes to make it hard for me and my followers to purchase, receive anything from outside of America at a lower price than we pay to America. See, this is evil on the parts of America. America will have to learn this. America will have to learn that we, the black people in America, are the brothers of the black people, the brown people, the yellow people. We have many Muslims in these lands, and to try to interfere with the success of the Muslims in America, which is coming from Allah God himself. Allah God will confuse America, and she will have the loss of her victory in any land and amongst any people on earth, the fall and rise of nations. She had become the habitation of devils. This America, we see the glory of the world and wealth, sport and play, with her merchant ships prolong the high seas, carrying her costly merchandise throughout the population of the nation of the earth. We see the Bible, Revelation 18:19. See, the ships of America can be seen everywhere, in every part of the nation of earth. See, her great navies is built to command the high seas. See, her decks are mounted with great earthly rifle barrel guns. The decks of her ships are covered with planes, which to carry deadly bombshells to pour on other nations who dare now to reject her interests into the water. The writer John foresaw America threatened and disobeying the nation to disobey her orders, to allow her interests. America Navy planes fly high in air with their deadly bomb held ready to drop on towns and cities of the nations who dares to attack her. The skies over America is shallow with thousands of planes, but yet the grievous destruction awaits America. See, America send planes flying out of her country, shoot herself out into space by means of the most modern rockets, designed it for space travel. See, at home, America country is as the prophet foresaw and prophesied of it. America is covered with planes. The army is standing ready to stop inside rebellion. The prophet foresaw all of this readiness and preparation for the world showdown. A military might says, whom to the land, shallow with rings. Isaiah 18 verse 1. America, take a look around the dead pieces of our earth, the moon. She wants to see if they can do her harm. America, take a look at Venus and Mars to see if there are signs of any gods on this planet who are capable of warring with her. You see, America boasts of her ability to kill the civilizations of Earth 3 times over and have an army left to attack anywhere else. Then the army may rise against her. The kings, who was the world ruler of their day and time, made great boasts. See, Pharaoh also made this great mock of Allah, Jehovah, and his powers to attack Pharaoh. In the Holy Quran, Pharaoh says to Moses concerning Allah, the Lord of the world. It says here, who is your Lord, O Moses? Pharaoh says to his slave Moses in words to say, you take another God besides me. We see the Holy Quran, Surah 20, verse 71 says, so our Pharaoh shall cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides. But Israel took another God, Allah, Jehovah, beside Pharaoh. They did not lose their hands and feet on opposite sides. You see, the people cried about death and destruction, playing the habit over America. But they never cried about the evil that they are committing, and which is the cause of this destruction coming into our borders, bringing the floods, rain, ice, hail, and earthquakes, and fire daily, nightly, somewhere on the surface of the land of America. The Bible refers to America, we see, by the name Babylon. And it teaches us, we see the Revelation 18, verse 2. We see Babylon, the great, we see, is falling, which refers to America. And it's become the habitation of devils. It holds every foul spirit, you see, a cage to every unclean and hateful bird. See, immorality is now here, and people rather get underneath that than the Creator, who is forever praised. We see the murdering, the robbery, the gambling. And you see police, detective, and FBI all here. But this gruesome, savage acts are committed right between their eyes and ears. So we have the dissatisfaction. So we see when America fill her country today with evil, and we see there is no good work today in America. America hates the doers of good and seeks to destroy them. See, this is the cause of this fall of America. You can bear witness to these deadly storms and twisters that are striking America and the area where some of you live. Can you not see that Allah guides after you for the evil done to his people, black man? You see, the rich, the wealthy, and powerful rulers of America, from the mayors of cities, the police commissioners, up to the president, works to oppose the black one slave return to his own. All of this hasten their doom, as the Bible, Psalms chapter 2, verse 4 teach us. He that sits in heaven shall laugh. The Lord shall have them. See, Allah God laugh at their struggle to bring to nothing his aim and purpose of freedom, justice, and equality to his black people. Allah God have the heads of America in confusion to the limits of theirs. Another place, the Bible teaches us that Allah God would turn them backwards. Isaiah 44:25. Evil and filth are the gods and worship of America. Never had a people on the face of the earth become so bold in their evil practices. Never before America have there been a nation on the face of the earth where scores of murders take place daily and nightly. In one large metropolitan city of America, the death rate is terrific. We see children kill children. We see males against males. We see females against females, destroying each other. The women have no shyness. You see, today, American designers, manufacturers dress the woman up about one third of a dress and turn her out partly nude before the public. You would not expect today to witness this in a country that preaches Christ Jesus and have church dotted here and there throughout their lands. You can hardly walk 2 or 3 blocks in the city without walking to a door of a church. See, the Christians today profess to be the most truly righteous people in the country. See, all night long, their voices are heard on the air preaching Jesus Christ, the prophet who died 2,000 years ago. See, he is dead, cannot hear the prayers of anyone, not even his own. You see, the Christian preachers try to even fool you by telling you now, if you pray to the prophet Jesus, that he will hear you. See, that's false, my brothers and sisters. He cannot hear you. If that was true, why cannot they get him to hear them when they call for peace anywhere? So Hebrew 5:7, he was very submissive. See, son though he was, but he was submissive, obedient now. You see, he had to pray to the one that could save him from death. Pray to the Father. Jesus was only connecting us. Hey, if you follow me now, I can connect you to the Father. Don't worship me. At the end of the day, don't worship me, but worship the Father who are in the heaven. Because this is why he said, if I glorify myself now, my glorified means nothing, but the one who seek me, who I glorify. Now you see, when it comes to their doctrines, they use to deceive this black man so that they will stay on their knees now, praying to something from which they will never get an answer. See, you'll never get an answer from a dead prophet. You got to pray to God. That's why people are having tough time. Jesus even said, pray to the Father that's are in the heaven. Now, what kind of little girl can be expected from a mother who is walking around, we see one half naked, and displaying herself to the world? We see dressed in such a dress that no animal wear. There's more shyness and display in animal than there is in the so-called Christian American dressed in a mini dress. The black woman should be too proud of herself to disgrace herself in the same matter as the white slave mistress. The black man should be sent to prison for being such a fool as to allow his wife and daughter to go out to show their new self to the public. We see nudity is originated from the right race. Now they want to say to the world that I'm the guide. The guide to what? We see the Holy Quran says that they lead you to nothing but filth and evil. The Bible is referring to the people of America when it's referring to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Allah God destroyed them when he saw that it was good to do so. Genesis 19:13, as it was with Sodom and Gomorrah, so will it be with America. We see how God saw how good it was to destroy these people, because these people are like Sodom and Gomorrah. You see Jeremiah 6:14, that you see they dress our people. When you have American designers and manufacturers dress our people about one third of a dress and turn them out partly nude. So you cannot witness this. Where the gospel you hear is preached in the air somewhere in the land. So we have the mystery of this Babylon the Great is none other than America. Now, according to the English interpretations, the word mystery means unknown, uncertain, obscure, concealed, a secret to keep oneself between you and me, locked up something that have not been or cannot be explained. And theologically, it is a supposed truth of facts, of great religious importance, which is beyond human comprehension. In the time we see of the translations of the Bible we see into the English, some or all other scholars was neither without spiritual understanding or downright crock, sought to hide that truth in a book that they thought will reveal to the world their untrue self. The mystery of Babylon had not come into existence. In ancient time, Babylon under the kings was the great city of idol worship and evil. She was the queen of evil, rich and well fortified. But this mystery Babylon must refer to a future city or people. No city or people answer description better than the city and people of America. This mystery Babylon justice could not be the ancient Babylon as we know her history. You must remember that I'm interested in bringing the truth to my people, as clear as sunshine. So be not disturbed in seeing and hearing it, the clear and simple way. For my people are the blind, deaf, and dumb of the nation of earth. They must be taught the truth by one who knows it. I am he who knows the truth and have been preaching it to you, whether it's to your liking or disliking. America in her future was not known in those days when the Bible was being translated into the English language. Not until 1611 did the translators bring into existence what is known as the King James Version. According to this history, there were several attempts made before to get the Bible to the people in the English language, but they was met with opposition. So America was discovered, we see, in 1492. These first translations of the Bible was far more near the truth than these later translations. So-called Negro slave was not given the King James Version to read until it was over 300 years old. So the white slave master was not even interested in educating the religious Negroes. And they are not today. So the so-called Negro must understand that which was hidden from them by their slave masters. The mystery of Babylon the Great is none other than America. This mystery of Babylon is full of riches, hatred, filth, fornication, adultery, drunkenness, murder of the innocent, and idol worship. The mystery of Babylon is full of names of blasphemy. America is full of religious faiths of the most ignorant kind. You can walk maybe a block or two and not walk into a door of a church. See, God is not an author of confusion. He don't dwell with temples made with human hands. He don't need none of this stuff made with human hands. He's sitting amongst the heavenly places. See, these antichrists church, see, the antichrist has been here, man. America got all of this religious faith of the most ignorant kind today. That can't even get you to heaven. What gets you to heaven is you got to believe in God. But as long You believe in their gods and their false gods, that's not going to get you in heaven. So the mystery Babylon the Great is none other than America. This mystery Babylon is full of riches, hatred, filth, fornication, adultery, drunkenness, murder of the innocent, and idol worship. Mystery Babylon is full of these names of blasphemy. See, America is full of, for religious faiths of the most ignorant kinds. She was once the greatest sale buyer and seller. She has the greatest merchant marine service, the world's greatest expert shippers, and the merchandise of wheats, beasts, sheep, horses, chariots, gold, silver, iron, brass, wood, slave, flying, flowers, corn, and many others. You must know that all of the revelations, or at least 90%, is directed to America. The 17 and 18 chapter show open the so-called Negro eyes to the right race and right Christianity. There is no hereafter for the right race. Some few who are in Asia will stick around for a while. America seems to be the answer to many of the Bible and Holy Quran prophecy. It is mentioned, we see in Jeremiah 51 verse 9, that ancient Babylon could have been healed, but she was not, for wickedness was such that she was neither healed nor forgiven. The charge against ancient Babylon, according to her history, was that she persecuted and imprisoned the Jews. She brought them into captivity from Jerusalem at the taking of Jerusalem. The king was also punished for his part in enslavement, according to ancient history of Babylon. The king had amongst the Jews whom he had held in captivity Daniel, a prophet of Israel. The king did not love Daniel and his prophethood, but he was able to get Allah's prophecy, the destruction of Babylon, from Daniel. But remember, he still held Daniel as a slave and a prisoner with the other common Jews. Under the kings, Daniel was still alive and was used for rebelling God's aim and purpose against Babylon. After studying the history of destruction of ancient Babylon under these two kings, we have a very good geographic picture pointing to a future people and country. The word we have healed Babylon, which referred to America, but she is not healed. She did not say why she was not healed. Was there a possible chance for the Babylonians being forgiven because of the evil done to the Jews? Now, if God called the black people, the Jewish people, it was for that reason of the persecution. See, England and Germany fits the enslavement of black people. So if God called the black people the Jews, it was for that reason. So could this crime of the Babylonians be forgiven? If not forgiven, what does this teach us? Is not the history of ancient Babylon unforgiving? Evil, a sign that a future enslavement of God's people, the American so-called Negro, will not be forgiven. Yet there will be a chance, as Babylon had, but they will not do that which God desired them to do, so that he may pardon them and forgive them and prolong their time. See, that God may put a great extension of time, that he may pardon their time, that he may prolong their time. But the time now is against them, brothers and sisters. Their term has come. There's no more delays. A time have come. A time will come that when a time does come, it's going to make you realize. It's going to have some of you going crazy. The time will come to make children's graveyard. So Revelation of John prophesies were that they repent not of their evil deeds, but blasphemy the very name of God. We see the Revelation 16:9. Therefore, when a man is guilty of a great evil done against the cause of God and his people, he cannot be forgiven unless he seek forgiveness himself. We see this in the work of the fall of America today. I said fall, for most surely this is the divine fall of America, as it was of ancient Babylon, for its evil done to the Jews. Even to this late day, America does not want to repent of her evil done to her black slave. I have given her a right chance, but she does not want to do justice for a free slave to get the extension of time from God. She should free the slave indeed. We see the ignorant ones who want to stay with her just because they are too lazy to accept their own responsibility, are too much in love with the unlike white people, who have attracted them to such extent that they have become a charm, want to remain with this white master even if they are just given food and shelter. See, this type of people is not wanted by any nation. See, no nation wants slaves on the base of taking the responsibility to care for them when they can care for themselves. The American black one slave for 400 years have now become a free, proud slave and a lover of their children or their one slave masters. The refusal of white America to do something about justice for a so-called free slave is bringing her into the same type of judgment that God brought upon ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 51:45 mentioned a warning to a people of God to flee out of Babylon. Could this be referring to the captive Jews of ancient Babylon? If God called the Jews his people, it was for a sign of a future people that he would choose to call his people the American so-called Negro. The black people of America today are called his chosen people by God himself and chosen by him to build a new government based upon truth, freedom, justice, and equality. This type of government is to live forever and never to be removed from the people according to Daniel, the prophecy of a kingdom of God set up in the last days, the government of which will not be left to the people. God himself will be the head and the rulers. In ancient Babylon history, the enslaved Jews was ordered to flee in her millers and be delivered every man his soul from the furious anger of the Lord. Jeremiah 51:45. The last book of the Bible, the Revelation of John 18 verse 4, makes this a little clearer. Both prophecies are similar, but the one in Revelation is warning a people to flee out of Babylon so that they be not partakers of her sins of Babylon, receive not of her pledge. This shows that God was going to pledge Babylon, which refers to America, and that his people should not suffer the divine pledge sent upon Babylon. So Revelation says, 18 verse 4, to come out of her, my people. You have to come out of her, not to partake in her filth. See, immorality is now here, and people rather get underneath that than underneath the Creator. That's why the prophet Isaiah says, all day long I had stuck out my hands to rebellious people a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. You see, you got to come out of her ways if you want to live. Come out of her. Gonna get to a time, brothers and sisters, that you're gonna have to flee from her, flee from America, flee from her wicked desires, because her time of ruling is up. So don't think for a second that this man on the screen, Trump, done a favor. That's because, well, he got Larry Hoover out, NBA young boy. But look what he's doing in the black communities. You see these tariff wars that's happening in black farmers, tariff wars that's going on in black salons. Just look at China and UK. These tariffs that's happening on the Apple phones. See, I said America loves managing to other people's affairs. She can't not keep her nose clean. So now the God of righteousness have come, the God of freedom, justice, and equality. Let's go. So this is a future prophecy of a future Babylon similar to ancient Babylon under their rule. The history of these two kings of ancient Babylon teach us that they held slaves who was trying to serve this right God. We see the coming of Allah and a person of Master Falah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, was for the deliverance of the lost found people, black from a 400-year-old enemy who had never shown them anything but evil, murder, and death, being very angry as it was written of him, as I know it was to be truth. He desired nothing more than the freedom, justice, and equality for us, the once lost and now found black members of our nation, the original black nation of this earth. America now is at war with God through God's people, the so-called Negro. We see the confusion and the pledges of the country with disasters, one right after another, is divine retaliation against white America, evil doing and intentions against her one slave and her false friendship, which have her open her home to integrate the people of God with them, who by nature are different or foraged. The white men have poisoned our people minds so thoroughly that they will fight against their own God, starvation, to gain the favors of their own enemies. Now, this is why it talks about, Revelation talks about 12, the 4th chapter, there was a woman that was carrying a newborn. Now, this resurrection is talking about he was to make his presence felt to be amongst God's people. Because after 6,000 years, the devil that been here, you have been mentally, physically ill. You have been bitten so many times. So practicing reading the resurrection, we as a black people will rise from a mental death, from our mental state. So you got to realize who God is and name the devil, the beast that he is, like Joseph, that was once a slave when you was a slave. So now the so-called Islam, the true religion of God to us, is to unite us to our own. It's the same call telling us to flee out of America's way of life, so our life may be saved from divine destruction of a non-repentant enemy. Jeremiah 51:45. Divine pledge we see and forging wars we see are destroying the American standard of life and money. Her deceitful, filthy temptation now being displayed before her one slave in the world are designed to make the one slave an enemy of his God and his own starvation, are designed to make them take part with them against the aim and purpose of Allah, which is to set this so-called in heaven while he lives. A prophecy relating to America is mentioned in Isaiah 47, verse 1, as the virgin daughter of ancient Babylon history and the riches of this country of America as we see today. In this history, as we all know, America is the last, we see the greatest and the richest remaining power of this right nations. But now we see she is falling. And the prophet Isaiah says, come sit in the dust and humble yourself, for you are no more called delicate. So we see this filthy display by white American Christians walking around half nude, sitting before their pastors and their churches with dresses halfway up their thighs, for their pastors stare at their new forms. Goes on. The pastor should actually be standing at this door, telling such disgracefully dressed people that he preached this word of God and that God warns us to be clean both internally and externally, and that we should not tempt a nation to do evil and filth. But he opened his church doors and is happy to have them enrolled, sitting before their eyes, knowing that this is against the teaching of God, turning his house of God into a worship of filth and evil. So America got all of this religious of the most ignorant faith. And you think that this would get you in heaven today? Don't be a fool. See, God is not a God of confusion. See, God doesn't dwell made with human hands. He don't sit in temples made with human hands today. He sits amongst the heavenly places. He don't need none of this. So when did you ever see Jesus preach this religion of Christianity? He haven't preached it. So don't be a fool today, you being in this devil religion. Of course, America, you can walk 2 blocks up a street and not walk into a door of a church today. The Christian preachers, you would think that they are the most upright people. You see, all day long, their voice is heard in the air, preaching Jesus Christ, the prophet, who died 2,000 years ago. He's dead and cannot hear the prayers of others. So Jesus said, you got to pray to the Father, the one. See, Hebrew 5:7, brothers, he was very submissive, even to a point of death. He was very heard. You see, son though he was, but he's very so submissive, obedient, even to the point of death. So God raised him. It was God that raised him. So worship the Father. Don't be a fool. They tell you, if you pray now, listen. If you pray to the prophet Jesus, he will hear you. This is false. This is so much nonsense. You see, you got to pray to God, the only Father. See, this is why Jesus says, pray to the Father. See, when Mary came, there was a woman came that he drove out 7 demons. So he told her, go tell my brothers that I'm going ahead of Galilee. But he said this to worship our God, your God. See, this is why, brothers and sisters, Jesus says, if I glorify myself, my glorify means nothing, but the one who I seek after, who I glorify. Now let's go. Now, can this church survive? Now, can this Christianity survive the days of divine judgment against America? The Revelation reads, and a prophecy relating to America that she had in her a hole for every foul spirit you see, a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, because they rather get under this immorality. See, this is why 2 Thessalonians chapter 11, see, God used a powerful illusion so that people will believe the lies, so that people will believe all the things that they hear. God has sent a powerful illusion. So that's why people are trapped and believing these false lies that they've been told all up to this time. They don't believe in a God today. See, this is why their God been their stomach. Their glory is their shame. You see, their mind is set on earthly things, but our mind is set on a citizenship that's waiting in the heavens. People's minds today are set today on these earthly things, on this earthly life, which is coming to be dead now. Now, why people don't get that? The old world is passing The old world is past and it's dying out. In order for a new world to come in, God must get rid of this rubbish, wicked, white man's world, as you call it. Now the Revelation read, and a prophecy related to America, that she had her a hole for every foul spirit a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Revelation 18, verse 2, all hateful birds have a haven in America. Though the scientists and scholars of the religion of Christianity know these words to be true, they desire yet to see. They are already made blind, deaf, and dumb, so-called Negro, to go to his doom with them. And since they are by nature evil, they tempt them. The Holy Quran teach that they only lead you to filth and evil. And this is why a lot of people ain't gonna make it. A lot of people trapped in their sins, in this iniquity. But see, God didn't remember their sins. The sins has heaped up all into the heaven. So you're gonna have to cast your anxieties on him because he cares for you. And be alert because the enemy, the devil, prowls around like a rearing lion, seeking who he may devour. So you got to submit yourself to God. Draw close to him so he can draw close to you. See, this is why Jesus gave us a prophecy. Matthew 24, 38, 39. You see, people are going to be eating, drinking, marrying. People will be partying up into this time, and that take the days serious. Until that day of Noah came, when that sun started darkening, when it rained into 40 days and 40 nights. See, people don't take anything initiative into this time. See, we're not living in these old times. These are new times, brothers and sisters. The enemy can't get away and continue on persecuting us. So now the Revelation 18, verse 12, all hateful birds have a haven in America. We see through the scientists and scholars of this religion of Christianity know these words to be true. It is our yet to see they are already made blind, deaf, dumb, the so-called Nick, to go to his doom with them. And since they are by nature evil, you see, they tempt them. The Holy Quran teach that they only lead you to filth and evil. This is perfectly manifest today in America amongst its people ruled by this white man. The very conscience of an individual knows that these evil we see today are not accepted by God. You see, people are struggling with drug addiction and all that. See, people gonna have a struggle here, man. And I'm gonna keep it real. People gonna have a struggle. When you don't get God in your life, when you don't have God, people gonna have a struggle with addiction and things, man. They're gonna have a struggle on their way, you know what I mean, fighting. They will have a struggle, man. That's why you got to cast all your anxieties on him, man. And this time you need to cast all your anxieties on him because the devil is busy. The children of the devil is busy, and the children of God continue to minister. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you what kind of world we living in, man. Jesus said we are coming into this hatred of this world. Keep in mind, the world will hate you. The world will reject you. The world will persecute you. If you of the world, it will love you as its own, man. People will hate you of what God put you here to do. I am an aspiration. I am a voice. Let's go. This is perfectly manifest today in America amongst its people ruled by the white man. The very conscience of an individual know that these evil we see today are not accepted by God. Desire to marry and integrate amongst people whom God has made to be his and our enemy is beyond one imagination. We see Jeremiah 41. Let's go to 41:46 prophesies. We see the violency and the millets of Babylon, a future of Babylon, and rulers against rulers. Is this not true of America we see and their governments and people today? Her lands, people shall be confounded. We see Jeremiah 51:47. Is this not true of American governments and people today? There are fast becoming confounded, and all of her slaves shall fall in the midst of her. Jeremiah 51:47. In every hour of the day and night, people are being murdered and killed in America throughout her streets and highways. Murdering and killing is the orders of the days in America. The Bible mentioned that God used a destroying wind, Jeremiah 51:1, against those who oppose his purpose and aim. Is this not true? That day and night, somewhere in America, there are destructive tornadoes, storms destroying the properties and life of America. Go to sleep to reality of the judgment of America, a repetition of ancient Babylon judgment. If you like to be caught in a snare, as God had said, he laid a snare for ancient Babylon. We see Jeremiah 50:24. And ancient Babylon was taken in that snare. So it is in America long before America ever thought she will repent of evil done to a slave or reject repentancy. God has set the snare to catch her. America is now in the same snare that God set for ancient Babylon. Will America repent that she will be healed, or will she ignore it? Modern Babylon we see is falling. We say modern, we refer to something compared it to the past. This name Babylon begins, we see in Genesis chapter 10. In the Bible, Genesis chapter 10 is spelled Babel. But the same name seems to have changed itself to the name Babylon as we come to the most late date history of this name. Babylon, according to the history of Babylon throughout the Bible. See, Babylon is referred to as something prophesied as having a failure upon her progress and rise. We see in Psalms 137:18, David prophesies that Babylon was made to be destroyed. We know of nothing other than the devil and his work that was actually made to be destroyed spiritually. See, the devil was not made to exist forever. This is verified by both the Bible and Holy Quran, and by all writers we see and teachers of scriptures. So here, Babylon seems to refer not only to some towns or cities, but it's also seen to refer to a race or a nation of people. Ancient Babylon, as known by all of us, was a city under the reign of the kings. We see the fall of Babylon was final. Babylon was never to be rebuilt after her fall, and Babylon was never rebuilt. This point to the same prophecy of the devil and his kingdoms and the revelation of John, the Bible, that Satan and his kingdom will be burnt up and never rise again. In a letter of Paul, there's a prophecy of the devil and his kingdom, that the devil was made for fuel for fire. The Holy Quran refers to these prophecies and these words: fuel of hell is man and stone. So the fuel of hell is man and stone. We do not know why stones are put there with man. It could be referring to the hardness of the stone, and to the hardness of the hearts, and to the hardness of the wicked against truth and righteousness. In the book of Revelation, we see the Bible, it prophesies here that an angel had warned to a people that Babylon is falling. He didn't tell why Babylon flew. Babylon flew because she is become the habitation of devils, and a hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The foul spirit here used to tell us that the people of Babylon was filthy. The term a cage just tells us there are cities in our country became a cage for people of filth. The Bible teaches us that God refers to a people of Sodom and Gomorrah as being a people who doing and work was such that came up and stunk his nostrils. But I think that if the God will get a good smell of this modern wicked filth here, and will think the smell of Babylon in his nostrils was like the smell of the flower compared to this wickedness of today. Babylon is used as example for some distant people of the history, according to the prophet. This name Babylon is something that begins in Genesis and ends in Revelations. It is found throughout the entire Bible. Therefore, we must not look at it as one personal part. We must not look at it as spelling out to us, the ancient only. We see Jeremiah, the Bible, we see a daughter of ancient Babylon. He calls the people the daughters of ancient Babylon. These people are not the old parents, but they are the daughters from those parents. The daughters of ancient Babylon refer to a more late and modern civilization who people gave themselves over to the practice of the same evil that the people of ancient Babylon practiced it. But the modern people was more capable of improving on the practice of the people of ancient Babylon. Therefore, he called this modern people the daughters of ancient Babylon. And Isaiah 47 verse 1 asks these people, the daughters of Babylon, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughters of the Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne for you, nor more be called tender or delicate. We see the daughters of Babylon seem to have been a very rich people, and they have fallen from a state of great wealth. Isaiah used Babylon as a pretty girl who loved her used to be plentiful because of her wealth and her attractiveness. Now she had become ill looking and had no more attraction upon the people. So he says, sit down in the dust. You are no more expected and attracted to the people. The prophet Jeremiah warns ancient Babylon that she has a daughter coming. This daughter met the fate destined for Babylon. She was made to be taken. Satan was made to be taken and destroyed. Why? Because she had become a place where evil was practiced. She was like a bird that goes out and associates with birds other than her own kind. And then she became a hateful bird. She is hated by all of the other birds. Babylon filled herself with people of that sort. The USA came into this Western hemisphere and chased all the Indians. But America invited every one of the poor class who wanted to come from Europe to make themselves a home here in America, the Indians' countries. All of the poor, evil citizens of Europe, America welcomes now. She invited every race of the nation to come and join in with her in a free country we see where evil and filth are openly practiced without hindrance. America have done just this. She have filled her country with all evil people. America did not allow Islam, nor a preacher of Islam, to come to her country. America did not want a good religion taught. America made religion that she could rule, control herself. She had made it attractive to the eyes and ears of those who see and hear it by teaching them basically that there was three gods instead of the teaching of Moses and a prophet, the teaching of one God. America makes it possible in her Godhead. If one of them does not like you, you may plead to another. And one does not let you by, one of the three will. See, this is contrary to the very laws of nature. It is contrary to America's own mathematical language. And mathematics is not possible to put the three into one. So America having this religion contrary to the truth today, we see the authors of truth is condemning her. We see America is nothing but a foul and evil place to live. She had no respect for her own self nor for anyone else. She would just rob in the public and go newest. We see America even had newest colonies wherein if you desire to go new, you can do so if the public does not want you. See, the Bible, Revelation 18, verse 4 or 5, and the Revelation of John, a people are warned to flee out of her. Here we get the name Babylon to become a modern day people. The voice of an angel warns the people of a certain class to fly out of Babylon. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partaker of her sin, and that you receive not of her pledge, for her sins have reached into heaven. And God had remembered her iniquity as being an evil people. So the angels notified us, saying, Babylon the Great is falling. Today we see the same thing. There is no people to be warned to come out of another people that answer to the description of this warning so clearly as the so-called Negro in America or the lost-found people of our own black kind does. Here, the so-called Negro is warned to fly out of her and not to be partaker of her judgment or torment. The angel says, so much evil she have done to you. Revelation 18, verse 6. We ward her, even as she hath rewarded you, and double unto her double, according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, filled to her double. Allah God, and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, says to me that there is nothing that you can do to her, and a way of evil that could match the evil that she has already done to us. This is why the Revelator called the people modern Babylon beasts, for they live the kind of life of wild beasts. See, they have no mercy for themselves or for anyone else. They are made, although there are a few who will believe and escape their doom of her brothers. See, this is their reward just by faith. But the black man is created by the Creator, by nature, and he was made blind, deaf, dumb by his kidnapping Lord, master, the white slave masters. I do not think that you can overlook the most positive truth here in this article, that we are now living in a call of angels to us to come out of her. The her here means the wicked world of the devil. Since we, the black people, was kidnapped and forced into this world of the white race, we must be forced out of this world. It is not that you, my people, will accept just by having the freedom to accept your own choice. No, you will have to be punished it, divinely beaten and destroyed it until you accept Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, as your God and Savior, as I and 1,000 of my followers are doing. Do not think the 144,000 prophesied of are the only ones who will be saved. The 144,000 refers to the first convert, the first right fruit to God and his messengers, the first right fruit of God and the Lamb. Another prophecy warns us that Babylon is fallen, never to rise again. In this warning, it teaches you that the country and people of modern Babylon will become like the people and city of ancient Babylon that was destroyed and have not risen up a people or a city since its destruction. I warn you, my black people and black sisters, that unless you believe in Almighty God, Allah, Master Fala Muhammad, as I do, and receive the names of the holy and perfect God, you will never see the hereafter. The Bible warns you and me that on the final destruction of the wicked, Allah God will say to the angels that he has to usher in the judgment to bring his people to him, everyone that is called by his name. For he gives people his name so that he may save them, so that they may be the servants of Allah God, as they was the servants of their white slave masters. As long as you are in the names of this white slave master, you belong to this white slave master. And regardless to what you believe, and regardless to how mighty you think that you will not be accepted by the black people and the God of our black people if you have the names of white people, and if you are in that religion called Christianity. You see, the fall of America is now going on. She is falling. The cause of her fall is universally known as it was with ancient Babylon. The fall of ancient Babylon was known. The great prophet Daniel, the mouth speaks of God, was in her midst, and his people, the Jews, was enslaved in ancient Babylon, according to history, during the reign The Jews suffer under the ruthless laws of these two kings against the Jewish God, religion, and people. These two rulers of ancient Babylon disrespect everything, regarded as sacred religion and worship of Jehovah by the Jews. They took Jerusalem and captured the noble of Israel. They raided and sacked the cities and the Jew house of worship. They made mockery and stumbled all that stood for Jehovah and the Jews. They made mockery of the prophets and the sacred vessel that God had King Solomon made and put in the house of worship of the Jews, so that they should be sacred. The kings and his nephew or grandson, according to some historians, gave the Jews no honor, no respect whatsoever under both of their reign. The God made example of them to serve as example of a future people, opposition and disrespect of God and his people. Master Fard Muhammad, who is Allah in person, wants to make it clear that he has chosen the American so-called Negro to be his people. The truth that he gives to them and they themselves are sacred before his eyes in a world of righteousness. Showing disrespect to God and his people is inviting the punishment and doom of God. A careful observer or seeker of truth of the time and history being made, and these times can easily see how well the history of ancient Babylon, its rulers, its people fits in with the history of the rulers and people of America and England. America enslavement of the so-called Negro and England enslavement of people fits so completely with the history of ancient Babylon that it cannot be denied that the ancient history of the Babylonian Empire people was of America. America wants everyone to believe she is right and are wicked dealing with the people of earth, with her might of arms commanding the high seas and the land around the globe. She wished everyone to think she is right in building up an armed force and foraging countries, knowing they soar a bursting deadly navy with guns trained on foraging people, towns, and cities as they dare without any cause. This only shows her pride and daring aggressive act against people who like to be at peace. She have her feet standing on 20 or 30 million black people brought out of their native lands and people from their God and their religion by her fathers and have forced them to remain on her feet of power for the past 400 years. She has deprived them of knowledge of self, the right race, their own people, and their religion. For 300 years, she did not allow them to worship any religion at all, not even her own religion of this Christianity. She had robbed them of their divine rights. Now, with her great show of temptation put before the same slaves and the world at large, she should not be surprised to see and feel the hands of God writing her doom on the walls of her governments. The judgment of America. We see this great dreadful days of the Lord has now come to America, the land and people who worship evil. Robbery, murder, rape, famine, and deceits are the orders of the day in America. If there is anything like a God of righteousness, if there is anything like a God of truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place and put an end to such evil as now going on in America? The people cannot walk the streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, rape. America is a wicked land. We see everyone's against the other. Righteousness, justice, and freedom are despised and fought against, regardless to the clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelation. In the Bible, they continued their evil ways and did blasphemy to God, who had power over these pledges. They hate the name of God. They hate the name of his messengers. Amen. Nevertheless, they does not stop this judgment and destruction of America. They hated God. They hate the name of his messengers. You know why? Because the world will reject you. The world will hate you if you're not of it. And I'm not of it. So they can hate me all they want. I don't care who don't like me. It don't matter who don't like me. But I keep it real. If you of God, people will hate you. People will turn on you. You'll find out who's your friends, who's not your friends. This is serious stuff, man. We don't play with this. We preach what we know. Just like Jesus said, we preach what we know. Let's go. Look at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But there is no peace in them. We have done nothing to them. See, they are against us just because the idea that we are Muslims, black people. You see, this white man have his way of ruling this black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so, while in reality, we see the white man have come to an end of his time of power to rule the black people. Regardless to Allah, God, retaliation to the white man for his evil act done to the black man. You see, this white man still keeps inviting the retaliation of Allah, God. The white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah, God, and his servants, for he has power over the faction. We see the judgment of America. See, judgment have come to you, America, whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah, God, and against his aim and purpose. Now, whom to you, America, Allah, God, has made you blind to his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. For a man who does not know the danger of fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black man for 400 years, and she does not think that there is ever a God who accept her black slave and return on her head the injustice done to her black slave. This is the day and time in which America can benefit from what Allah God have revealed to me and from the work that I'm doing amongst my black people, turning them from doing evil into righteousness, as it is written in the Bible. See, Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for a healing, and she had not gone to the extreme, but making fun of this God of the Jews in their temple in Jerusalem, and belittling the power of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies of the pledges that will come upon America, and these pledges are falling on America now, and yet she will not repent. For America continue to kill the black one slave for righteousness and justice, even though the black slave wants to go from America. She wants to hold on to him, and America does not want to let her black slave go. We see America holds this black slave for a prey, whom to America her days has arrived. She will not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separated for her on little territory and a state to ourselves, to let us be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. God went down to Egypt to make Israel and her enemies, the Egyptian, an example for a future people, so that this may serve as a sign of what we see going on in America today. See, the four great judgments that Allah God promised to destroy America with are now coming upon her. Snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah has reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against the wicked country of America in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God weapons. We see the storms that we see going on. See, this white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. For the white man translates the Bible, and he knows what he puts in his translation of that which was written in the Bible. The judgment of America. All love and respect of the wicked have gone from them. See, they do not love each other nor respect each other. They have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. You see, some of these white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers. They are not ashamed to do so. You see, they come out with long, straggly hairs, as their fathers did in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing the white man to bear him witness that they really once the caveman. Yet, if a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man, it is a shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their back and over their face by misleading the black man to fall in the ways of the white man, cage days. We see the white man again telling the world how he has deceived the black man. It is now making this black man manifest that he is too weak to seek after his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to this black man in America that we should accept our own. Instead of the black man going to the decent side of his own, he goes back seeking transitional Africa and the way they did in the jungle life and the way you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. They are not using barber tools, sneers, or razors to keep themselves looking identified as a civilized people should look. The black man in America accepted this jungle life, thinking that they would get this love for black Africa. But black brothers and black sisters wearing these savage dresses and hairstyles will not get you the love for Africa. The identified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you would get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after the war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest, as it is written in the Bible. We see Revelation, she is a cage at every unclean and hateful bird, every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, your days have come for the evil done to your black slaves. America, you cannot repay that evil with another evil of trying to tempt this black slave by offering them your white woman. That does not help you in this day. But it does condemn you as being a double crosser, that you would even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please, if they would just follow you. The judgment of America, see, Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America is just beginning to experience sorrows, mourning, grief, and distrust for the anger of God and man. According to both the Holy Quran and the Bible, there will be plenty more of the same. In these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. The time will grow so terrible, some, that according to the Holy Quran, children will become grave-headed, and according to the Bible, great heart failures will become a disease upon the people who have the anger of God, the American people. The fourth beast in the Revelation of John in the Bible, and of which Daniel described as a very dreadful, well-armed beast, who working on that, a death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. Daniel's description of a rib between the teeth of the beast and the reference to this ill treatment, subjection, ruthless behavior by the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, and refuse to let them go free. This is due to a heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. This beast white man lies and rapes around the black man homes and probes the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead. He is unable to defend himself against false charges. This beast keeps our people in sorrow and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunity. The black man rates are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called nickel from saving by skyrocketing in views of the poor. The price of the necessary life. This white beast we see persecute, imprison, and kill those who preach freedom and justice for the poor, so-called Negro. The white man does not want this so-called Negro to leave America, but she will not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken by force of arm and killing its owners, the Indians, with them. So Isaiah 43 says, I will say to this north, bring that back, bring my son from afar, and my daughters from the end of the earth. America, let our people go. You can no longer hold on to us. So this beast we see will set up evil today to be allied as a god. You see, she discussed good for evil, and she covered the earth with filth, making it fascinating so that man can bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for joy, and then she kills both of them. Whom to America we see the murderers we see and the deceivers of the people. We see the God of justice and truth have pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. So you have made mockery of him, God and his people, and his words, the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American Negro, the lost and now found members of the black nation of the earth. Come unite with Allah and me, go to your own. You don't have to go anywhere if you only will unite with your own. You see, heaven awaits you wherever you may be. Heaven will await you. See, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgment that Almighty Allah God is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. We see them now covering all sides of America as the Holy Quran, Surah, chapter 1341, we have visited land and curtain it from its sides. And these judgments will push the people into the center of the country, and they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and their country to a nothing. Now you might say, well, what do the brother mean that he's going to center the people? Well, in Ezekiel 26:18 talks about people will be terrified because the coastland will be destroyed. And see, FEMA don't have a preparedness of what's going on for this coming hurricane season. They don't have a preparedness, y'all. Mean things will intensify. Y'all see those glaciers going off in Switzerland? See, we are in a time, brothers, that a time is coming that's approaching. And we don't have time to decide, because the day of decision, you got a decision to make. Because these pledges are boiling here in America. We don't have time to wait. You don't have another 15, 20 years. The fall is within a few days. I've been telling people, just watch in the next year or two. You ain't seen nothing yet. Just watch. People want to party. People consist of partying and having fun. It's cool, but you got to stay tuned. You got to get yourself right in alignment with God, because no time passed, brothers and sisters. No time's going to pass with God. And see, the Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some count slowness, but he's going to be very patient towards you, not wishing that any should perish, so that all should come to repentancy. So it's going to teach you what kind of people you need to be. Because this present day is going to be kept with fervent fire and heat, and you're not going to be here to survive it. So therefore, we are waiting for a new heaven, a new earth, where it's going to be a day you're going to reign with him. There's going to be a remembrance. There's going to be a day of rejoice. But God must remove this rubbish, wicked white man's world and bring in a new world and bring in a new establishment. So now it says here, Job in the Bible prophesies that Allah God has the snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hill-like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north. Now, only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana. But now the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer, disaster of snow in the New England states, says that there have never been such great quantity of snow. We see all up and down the coast to the Carolinas. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. All around the southern borders of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north and far west and in the east, we see America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah, God. There are earthquakes, and we see the seas are raging. We see the Pacific Ocean is now angry and is raging and tossing up great waves as never before. Now, why should these things hit America? The Revelation teacher why is because America is filled with devils and has such unclean person living in America. This is true under hateful birds. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes here for a haven where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And a country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see the few little Muslims who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God, how the enemy hates us and seeks to do all this evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. See, these are new times. The enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us, and he just laughs at those who try to fight against him. He had destroyed a whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed. Allah, God, does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on him. He used that which is with you against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. Storms after storms of snow and ice are whirling in from the north and are pushing great drift that are just covering up everything. See, what can you do with a God like that? See, Job prophesied it, that Allah God has his weapons stored up to use in his day of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that Allah God destroys people with just cold wind. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? No wonder the second song says that he would sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He will have you crazy. It is true. See, the heads of the governments of the Christian world are confused. And they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the great desire was to confuse us. Now Allah God has taken the confusion out of us and put it into them. Now eat, America. Help yourself, America, to the desert that you have prepared for us, America. You eat it, America. All praise are due to Allah God, who came in a person of Master Fulad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. We went to Alabama and to any states that we go to. We pay high price per acre of land that our father labor has already brought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful and want to buy back some of our own labor. See, I laugh at some of these things that I hear coming out of Alabama. Not only in Alabama, but in every other state in the union. See, they do not know the time in which they are living. See, Allah God is well able to take this country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases. those who will bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgments are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion in the head of states. We see the four great judgment of America. To be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives, we see. It swells the rivers and creeks. And too much rain, we see, will flood cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual high waves, dumping billions of tons of water over the now seashore lines. Rain destroyed properties and killed cattle by drowning them in lowland. Rain destroyed the hiding places of vigorous beasts. We see reptiles bringing them out, fighting in small towns, people, homes, and farms. Rain weakens and destroys railroads. We see truck lines, beds, bridges. Rain undermines all foundation of all types of buildings. Rain makes its atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness to the people. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns. We see cities bringing germs, causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling stream and destroying the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drift from 5 to 35 feet. We see it buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways and cities and your gravel towns and cities. It put a great burden of expense upon the cities. It put a great burden of expense upon the cities. To repair it, the cage in or roofs of homes, we see the cut off of homes, the cutting off of transportations, isolation areas, bring about the starvation. Communication is destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. Snow look pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked world of America. Job 38:22 and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same 2 verses where God plainly tells us that he hath preserved it against this time of trouble, against these days of battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former people. Yes. Is America any better than the people read about and the history that God destroys? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as American people. See, earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in a grip of divine judgment. See, America is in the position towards a one slave so-called as Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position today because of the injustice done to American so-called Negro slaves brought to America over 400 years ago and refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to lead them, but the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophet to come to the defense of this people, the so-called Negro, in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declared to Abraham, Genesis, that God would judge the people to whom his people, Abraham, would be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation, who had and fulfilling the prophecy. God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad will not be defeated. The more evil we see in deceiving and tricking and making these false promises to the American so-called Negro only increases America divine chastisement, doom. America knows that her trouble lies. and her mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on these false promises. You see, she just cannot stop. The opportunity is to open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her today. But God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting the enemy according to the history of the former people. He delighted himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. They must be separated. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment, as Pharaoh suffered the same things that other evil nations suffered before now is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to the American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down. She deceived them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in the political circle, class, and all professional classes. He offered them little favoritism to help her against their own people, the black people, but they too would suffer along with the enemy of injustice, of the poor, so-called Negro. They must be separate. We see envy, hatred are going between the people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What better than a program you find I have written you two blacks and whites cannot get along in peace, that you have never gotten along in peace. Do you know why white America does not like to talk with you about separation, and why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are these black men and white men all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish Americans, so-called niggas, seek some of this earth that you can call your own and to live in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need somewhere to live for ourselves, and let this white man live for himself. The two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life into the refuge of Allah, God, and come follow me. America lands is being divinely curtained. The Holy Quran, we see Surah 1341, see they not that we are visiting the land and curtain it from its sides. Allah hath pronounced a doom, and there is no repeller of his decree, and he is strict and calling to account. Black man in America, there is no one as blind as you in seeing what is going on against America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah, God, and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and I have been preaching it to you continually. Now you see what is going on. America have done evil, so now it is being done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown their cities to pieces, and she had killed the inhabitants. Those who was left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter from destruction of America might. It is very sad, my brothers and sisters, and horrible to look at the things that America has done, which are now coming on this country. For many years, we see centuries of years, we see America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways and the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she wanted to have the advantage, and she wanted to kill black people, as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8 says, He sat in this lurking place of this village, in a secret place, do he murder the innocents. His eyes are set against the poor. We see up into this very minute. He's seeking to destroy the black man in America and deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired a departure of the black slave from his white slave master. America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. Pharaoh, we see hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt in the time of Moses to serve America as a wonder, but she had fallen headlong into the destruction of Allah God. America runs to and fro seeking a way out, but she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nation of the earth. See, America made us into nothing, and she used us to mock us before the nation of earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave, and he have chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come to that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he is here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our lives. America divided us one against the other. So the black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them lest they take advantage of it and call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help, and we gave them that help to keep them from falling. And it cost us $30,000 to set them free of their backments and other bills that they had. See, take a look at how they turn on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold separation is the answer. The Holy Quran, Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when the cities are set on fire, and when men are united, and when hell is kind, the folding up is a title taken from the first verse of that chapter, in which the above verses are found. When the sun is folded up, the Holy Quran, Surah 81, prophesies the folding up of a record. Now, the folding up means that the sun will burst with all its radiation. Now, scientists is talking about this huge corona mass ejection. There will be the sun that will get all its ingredients that it needs, protons. The sun will burst into a high perplexity. And I want to say, because this refers to Central America when it refers to America's satellites. When we look at this electrical grid, our internets, see, when scientists are saying that there will be a huge corona mass ejection, see, y'all not ready for this. With the worst is yet to come. Now, the folding up of a record of what people have done as it used will no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what takes place in the resurrection. One part is recorded as the beginning, while the other part is discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. We see war causes the destruction of civilization. See, war destroys cities and towns of a nation. This chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun, the stars, mountains, camels, and wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter and are not without. We see the coming of God refers to himself by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. We see the Bible, we see it in the Revelation refers to destruction of a beast we see, and the chief instructor, the dragon. The name Babylon given here is not refers to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast, you see. The theologian, most of them, from the time we see a Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms, beast, dragon, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Radford, founder of Jehovah's Witness sect, take the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should a master continue to deceive a slave? He teaches the slave that he is a free citizen with equality. Why do you slave master want to hold them for hostage prey? You do not need them. See, your machines do the labor that the slave used to do. Why not let them go? You want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you slave before you Pharaoh had that same idea? He did not want Israel to go free in the land to themselves. See, Pharaoh lost the war against Allah and was drowned in the Red Sea. See, the loser of this war was land and a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slave, she can easily do so. See, this will be simpler and easier than what she is doing, killing, provoking them through police force, National Guard, and finally U.S. Army, as we see in Detroit, Michigan. America actions show us two things. Firstly, she wished to cause fear amongst the so-called Negro with a display of many deadly weapons. But Allah is removing their fear. Secondly, she feared to approach her armed slaves unless she is armed. See, this has been a historical relation between the white man and his slaves. The white man seeks the leaderships of the so-called Negro to help him keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, "Nigga, now you should be happy. See, you are better off than many of your black kind with a job." The white slave master brought our fathers here to do the slave work. Our free laborers have made the white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. Now, do they offer us any of this land that they took from the Indians? The 22 million so-called Negroes should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of itself. The white slave master only offers a job. Allah God has come and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to free us. See, the Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection now. The meaning of this resurrection means that we as the black people will rise from a mental death. You see, you will rise from a mental and physical death. You see, realize who God is and understanding who the devil is and name the beast that he is, because he's naming you one. He's naming you a 3/5 of a human being, from a beast, from a mortal, from an entity. See, for 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. See, we the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There is not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you. But you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned it and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people, as you have divided the so-called Negro against one another. So Allah should divide you and your brethren, as you have Done to others, so shall it be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you as a power. We see the house is doomed to fall. We cannot deny the fact that we see that this Christian rest is responsible for this universal corruption in land and sea. From the same corruption that their own has made will come their doom. The, the Christian preach that which they do not do and cannot do, such as love your neighbors. I have yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. See, they even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers. With whom? See, the great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. Had they not corrupted many people and nations under disgust of good, peaceful, loving Christians? See, the Christian rest is full of the worst crimes, see, practicing evil to the fullest, and seeking to practice them on other nations as well. The universal temper are ever parading before the world, you see. They both have new girls and women. They are before your eyes. We see in almost everything you see today, from murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drugs, adultery, lying. There's hardly any end to it. The lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of wars. The islands of the seas are filled with corruption of all nations of earth, for they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised it, according to their wishes. The religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of slavery teachings. They have poisoned the Bible, what they're adding to and taking from this truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work, you see. They command the seas and their powerful navies, parking them off the shore of nations. They secure the air base on their soils and place the deadly bombs carrying planes with an easy striking distance of those whom they fear to be the enemies. Is this not the easy way to make an enemy? Is this the act you see a real Christian, the follower of Jesus, whom they preach came for the peace of mankind? And the teaching of the shaking of the sword and the turning of the other cheek? Where is a good Christian amongst this race you see? See, they love meddling other people's affairs. See, they are in every fight or war, if it matters not with whom or where, but yet crying, peace, peace. Yet with every deadly weapons of war to provoke other nation to war. Now shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you and your troublemaking as he did with those before you? See, I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah God with me for refuge. As I warn you, see, the judgment of this world has arrived. See, get out of the slave-making Christianity into the right religion, Islam. See, the house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. The destruction we see and fall of this world that we see is without a doubt and process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man. For the world of the black man have yet to come in. The world of the black man by divine guidance is now merging in on the old world of the white race. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the white man. Here in America, we cannot see nothing but the fall of America. See, it's no secret. It is obvious to the eyes that are open. If we want to close our eyes and minds and claim that we do not see and understand, then we'll be falling ourselves. This refuse to see is foolhardily, for regardless to how we may desire to see the old world stand, we do not have the power to start off the destruction that causes the world of the white man to fall. The destruction and power that is bringing about the fall of the world of the white man is coming from Allah God. In the past history of the world of the white man, there was never was a time of destruction of his world like the present time. It is useless for you to try to prevent the fall of the white man's world. See, there is no checking it. See, the right race has not tried to do the right thing, justice. See, the doing of justice would have checked her fall, the Bible, Jeremiah. See, she had done one basic thing. God can prolong her time. God can put extension of time. Because Jesus said, when you're giving a brother or sister a drink of water and that being a good act, and see, no good act goes without its reward. But America was never willing, and even at this hour, she is not willing to do justice by those who she had mistreated. She had dealt injustice to her black one slave for nearly 500 years that she had been in the Western hemisphere. America has constantly burdened the poor black slave with every evil that she can imagine. Her evil scientists who have invented more and more evil practice have not been able to invent any more evil than that which they have already put out. See, day and night, without this letter, we see this white man mistreat this black slave. And now, since heaven, we see the God of peace, justice, and freedom, equality, have come to this black slave. The white man is trying to make everyone that recognize the truth deviate from it. The white man says, do not accept it. See, he makes the black man a hypocrite against his own starvation. See, the white man tells the one who has not as yet accepted the truth of their starvation. He promised them that which he would never be able to fulfill. America is falling. She is now losing the power and authority that she was enjoying in foreign lands. See, her fall is very visible. Wherever her authorities have been exercising, the people are now crying out in one voice, leave us, leave us. See, America, go home to America. The citizens of the country are telling American citizens, leave us. America no longer have friends. You see, America and England deposited little brother Israel on foreign soil, the Palestinians, which is Arab land. They deprived the Arabs of their own land and sent them off. This injustice against the Arab is now causing America the power and authority that she once exercised in the Near East. Now you see, she is on her way out of the Near East, brothers and sisters. So this will mean more bloodshed. So in the Near East, there stand navies which are neither American nor British. They are there to drive America out. We see the skies over there are beginning to thicken with forging planes. We see carrying deadly bombs, guns, and bombs. They will not be satisfied as long as Israel is in Palestine. The boil has come to a bursting point. We are in a troubled world. We are in a world that is now erupting. See, we are in a troubled world, and people don't even look at it as we are in a troubled world. See, we are in a world that soon is erupting. So brace for the impact. Brace for what is to come. You see, black man who was once a slave in America, you have a way of escape. See, the way out is now your own term. We see it's on the condition that you submit to God and come follow me. This is the only way out. I'm the door, and I have the keys to your starvation. Reject it and die. See, we are in a world that is falling. It will soon be going up in flame. See, Germany, the Cold War between its East and West will soon erupt into a hot war. It would never be settled in peace. We see East and West, Germany must and will fight out with all of the deadly weapons that the war scientists have planted and perfect for a final showdown. You do not have to worry too much about whether or not America coming out of Asia. We see America is coming out of Asia. But you see, the odds today are against her staying there. But I warn you, my black people and my black brothers here in America, that while she is on her way home, the black people, are standing in a crossfire. The only hope that we have is to fly to our refuge and allow God. So Isaiah chapter 2:19 said, the people will flee to the cage in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord, and the fearful of his majesty when he comes to rise the earth. So look what is going on, you see, on the south to us. Look at many hijacks, stick up the planes. America's afraid, you see, to put a stop to this hijack. For she knows she's going to run into more than she expects. Who would have thought that the big power America would suffer such disgrace in this day and time? See, this is to teach you and me, black brothers, that the great power you see in America is becoming weak now, and she is falling. I said, black brother, join to your own kind. Come follow me, for the world that you and I have known will soon be no more now. Her nation is falling, becoming weak, and all the other nations will be standing far and see America burn with fire. And see, in a single day, in a single hour, in a single year, you start seeing an arrestor when it comes to all of her delicate, delicious, her splendors. Here in the arrestor will be all cut off, will be all gone, brothers, in a single day, in a single hour, in a single year. All her cargoes, her shipmaster, her trades will be cut off. Friendship is speeding her doom. She's trying to find ways to peace, but peace won't be there. So this is my word to you. So for more updates, you guys, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, don't cost you anything. We're gonna wrap it up from here. Thank you guys for tuning in. May God bless you. And please keep God in your life. We out.